Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of ByProduct, and mod-based game of Minecraft. This is actually Feed the Beast Unleashed, but I wanted to do a sort of a series on different ways of playing it and different setups and everything like that. I had a channel before, and I played a few episodes of Minecraft, and I also did a lot of reviews on alpha and beta games that were being tested at the time. But I thought it'd be a fun idea to try out some of the big trend Minecraft videos. So here's our first video. This is Feed the Beast Unleashed, I believe 2.0.4. And what we'll be doing today in this episode and for the future, I would like to establish some grounds of operation. We need some basic resources. I'm going to do a lot of mining today, which I'm going to go ahead and skip through that, and gather some of the basic necessities to set up a base of operation, a power source, and a method of doubling our ores, whether it's through the Tinker's Construct smelter or if we use the pulverizer. But it has to be decided. So I would like to really, come along, enjoy the ride, and yeah, it'll be a fun time. So, first things first, I'm actually just going to go ahead and get rid of this book. You know what? I've actually never read the book, so I'll hold on to it maybe for later use. First thing we need to do, I do not have the chest on, so we're going to have to actually get our own tools for cutting everything down. I know the chests usually they carry the force mitts, and those are typically what I like to start out with if I'm just playing on single player by myself. But, for the legitimacy of the video, we'll be using no chest, no cheats, no chest. I actually cycled through a few worlds until I found this one. I just wasn't happy with them. All right, so obviously initial setup's pretty simple. We're just gonna get ourselves a crafting table. We obviously got some food around here, which makes things a little easier. And we're just gonna go ahead and collect a whole bunch of wood. And after that, we'll get our 4 walls up, and I will fast forward through the other basic tool gathering that we need. But until then, we'll stick through. We'll resource gather through this, and I will talk through it because obviously, this is the first video we're doing, and maybe you want to get to know the guy behind the mic. Again, I've played some games before this, and they were, I played games that I recorded. That was Terra, Rift, Diablo 3, Guild Wars 2, and maybe a few other games. But again, that was mostly for the alpha and beta testing. There was a time and a place where the MMOs were really, really hot, and they were big and trending. And just, it was a good while ago. And at the time, that videos weren't like really a big thing. I mean, you can look it up, you can see trailers and everything, but we wanted to bring more to the game, so we started making trailers we started making our own testing for the game, and we wanted to show people what the game was like, and we were trying to get our foothold in the community. We wanted to put our best foot forward and say, hey, we're here to stay. We're a big deal. We like this. We like what we're doing. We like what we're seeing. So my video production experience is very limited. However, I would like to improve it through here, and there's a lot of different means and methods that I like to go as well. And first and foremost is going to be, I'd like to kind of do a production plan. As I said, I went through a couple worlds already. In fact, I started a session before this and decided that, I wanted to take a different approach, and we're going to do it a little bit of a different way. And what I did there, I just started playing. I didn't really have a plan. I just started going, which I think some people like, but it wasn't for me. I like to have a plan and idea what's going forward. So I will actually fill you in on this plan. What I'd like to do is establish a sort of a fortress that underground. It's something I've never done before. I've done floating islands and flying ships and big factories and everything, but I've never done an underground city. And it's the funniest thing because that's typically what everybody does. They build a big underground base, but I've never done it before. And I've played Minecraft for a long, long time. So that's what we're going to do. And I kind of want to keep it on the idea of like an underground dwarven city. I know that's kind of cliche, but I like Moria. You know, that's kind of a small inspiration for it. I also I don't typically like, you know, I'm all about a functionality, but in this case, I want to make something pretty as well as functional, and obviously that, you know, that plays a big role in the modded series, especially ones that Greg Tech and Thermal and Railcart, everything like that. You know, it's all about functionality, not very much so much aesthetics. But we're gonna try and force some aesthetics into this. I think it's gonna turn out super cool. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just get ourselves a little hut, little place of operations set up, just a small one. You know, where we call our home, rest our head. Okay, and we have our shelter built. I don't know, a little fancier than was intended. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Just a little dome structure, some nice windows, and oh, this is a we had a scary time last night. If you don't know, in the I believe it just by default in FTB Unleash is that it is set to the crazy mode with mobs. So we had a bit of a scare, and I pretty much camped out until night. I know, I know. I'm gonna go ahead and drop these saplings off. We just need to grab a few other things. We need to find some sheep, make ourselves our bed, set our spawn point, and set up a chest. That's really not that big of a deal. I can do it right here. And yeah, there we go. We'll go ahead with the crafting table. And we need to get a furnace set up real quick so we can start making some torches, getting some coal. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of walking. I found this. Just right there. Oh. Oh, beautiful lamb chops. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have anything to really save these guys, which is too bad. But we'll be automating this as well. We need crops, and we need to have them replenish themselves, if you know what I mean. But we have our bed set up. I finished the area of operations, which is good. Which is good. Again, very minimal, just our basic necessities. And this little open area is not too far, so I'm wondering if there might be some more investigating worthwhile. I saw an oil geyser over there, which is something I might be interested in for an alternative fuel source. What we really want to stick to is going with biofuel. And for anybody who's played any FTB, you know that biofuel is essentially a replenable resource. So it'll just, you know, keep generating itself. So here's the minimalistic shelter. Dome-like, I know, a little on the fancy side for a beginner shelter, but I think it'll do the trick for now. And then off here is gonna be our mining shaft. I'm just gonna do some strip mining. I'm gonna gather all the resources we need. Well, guys, after some long, methodical strip mining, I came across this little gem. Nice little skeleton spawner. I know it's not a huge deal at the time, but I think later on it'll serve a very good use. I just like to point that out to you guys. That we did in fact find something during the strip mine that wasn't just minerals or resources. So we'll incorporate this later into one of our auto mob spawners or auto enchanting or something. Again, these are very, very beneficial, especially if we're going to use the some form of XP farms. All right, so we finished up a lot of the smelting, and now we're just kind of waiting around, waiting for some more minerals to come in. Here's our just a minor setup. I have to go back and remodel this. I'm actually recording this audio after the fact. This room ended up being a little too small. I thought I measured it out correctly. It needs to be a 5x5 in terms of space, not the perimeter dimensions. And so for here, this will be storing our water mills, and they'll be reaching out to a battery supply unit. Like I said, too small, and I also need to set up an infinite water source. And we may or may not have had some technical difficulties. I pressed one of the F11, F10 keys. It pushed around my benchmark button for some reason. So we'll go ahead and review sort of the materials that we're going to be using. Top left is the battery box recipe. It is the 3 batteries with blocks around the perimeter, aside from the middle and the top middle. And then the top middle has a piece of copper wire, insulated copper wire. In the middle of the top is I believe that they are the generators. Generators are it's the best route to take is the refined iron into a block to make your machine block. You'll be wasting more iron if you take the other route. And in the top right is the actual water mill. On the bottom right is our method. The whole reason we're doing this is to double our ore, which again, we're recording this after the fact, so I will admit that I had totally forgotten that the pulverizer actually runs off MJ and not EU. So I don't know where I came up with the idea. But we'll salvage the situation later. Right now, this is what we're going to build. We're going to get our power supply going, which is one of the tasks we wanted to complete. And again, yeah, we will salvage it. It's going to be a longer run, and I think I made a few errors here. It's been a while since I played FTB. I've actually been playing a lot more of the Skyblock. So it's going to get a little bit rough getting in. I'm not trying to make excuses, but these are the facts. This is what's going on. So I went ahead and remodeled everything. Made a couple oopsies here and there, and I went and got everything sorted out. I'm going to go ahead and build everything up now. And with that, we have to keep in mind that when you are doing this, if it's your first time, make sure that you include at least one source block at every face of your water mill. That's very important because the water source blocks determine the amount of power that your water mills can actually generate, or I guess take in and then direct to your bat box. And when we place the bat box, it's the orange dot. That orange dot directs the current or the flow of energy. So here it is, guys, finished product. All the mills are working, they're sending power, and now we're going to start utilizing that power for something. And I'm going to give you a hint, it's not the pulverizer because that doesn't work. So surprise, electrical engine. That was the only option, the only way we can convert our EU over to MJ. So I go ahead, I build ourselves an electric engine. I'm going to hook this up to the pulverizer. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through a lot of this because a lot of it's just moving stuff around, placing blocks, but it's fairly straightforward. If you need to see anything, go ahead and leave a comment and I will explain it in further detail. But this, again, this is very basic, rudimentary stuff. It's not too hard to follow. So I'd just like to say thanks again for watching this. I know it's been a couple rough bit of editing. I'm still pretty new to the production idea of videos, but I'm learning it. And also, everything's getting done really late at night. It's really the only time that I can get a lot of the video editing done. But I want to continue working on and trying to create quality videos for everybody. Again, I know that FTB Unleashed is an older mod pack, but it's one of my favorites, and it's something I've really wanted to do videos on for a while. I plan on doing one on Skyblock, Direwolf, and anything else that comes out. I'm really interested in Hermitcraft as well. So again, I really appreciate you guys watching. Please come back, watch another one. I'm trying to crank these out and make it as interesting as possible. I really enjoy doing this first run, even though as you can tell, my audio is after the fact, and that's because there's some strange issue with Fraps, and about halfway through any of the videos I make, for some reason the audio starts cutting out, so I have to go back and then add more audio in. But again, thank you, and I will see you guys next time.